This is the Aviron Rower, a rower built for gamers with the goal in mind to, quote, end boring workouts. And with various workout games and training modes, entertainment streaming like Netflix or even YouTube, multiplayer lobbies to jump into, experience points to collect and spend on cosmetic upgrades, it's pretty hard to imagine someone who loves games to ever really get bored with this rower. So I'm gonna go in depth both on what I liked and what I didn't like about the Aviron, and your job as the viewer is to let me know which points you agree or disagree with in the comments below. First off, Aviron offers two different rowers. One they call the Impact Series and the other the Tough Series. The Aviron Impact Series is the rower that I've been using, and with its lower price is what I would suggest for most people. The primary difference between the two is that the Impact is lighter and able to be folded up, whereas the Tough Series is built more for commercial use, so it's heavier and does not fold. That said, the Tough Series may be a better fit for heavier individuals, the max user weight being 507 pounds compared to 397 pounds, or for those who want to add the lumbar support kit, which can be purchased separately. The Tough Series also has a slightly nicer foot pad which can be adjusted to best fit your preferred width. This is great, but again, not necessary for most of us. Now the Aviron Rower has a very industrial look to it. I don't think it looks bad, certainly good enough for an office or a garage, but it's definitely not the best looking rower designed to be displayed within your home. That said, many will appreciate its easy to use folding system, which helps decrease the floor space needed by almost half. When folded, the included four wheels make it fairly easy to transport around as needed, except around turns. The four wheels don't do great with turns. Now for resistance, the Aviron Rower utilizes a dual air and magnetic system, which includes 16 levels of resistance. I think the combination works pretty well here. It still feels like a rower should with user-generated resistance from the fan, but with a nice addition of having an auto adjustment system utilizing the magnetic component. The resistance levels from 1 to 10 feel more like a typical rower, whereas above that, it really starts to feel like a mix of rowing and strength training. Now, I'm not normally a big fan of adjusting resistance during rowing workouts, but it's done pretty well here, and so it can add a fun way to mix things up on occasion. The air fan on the Aviron is much smaller than, for example, the popular Concept 2 rower, which helps to keep things a bit more quiet. It did take me a while to feel comfortable with how the resistance felt, as the smaller fan does have a very different feel than most rowers. After a week or two though, once I got my brain used to the different feel, I started to enjoy it a lot more. The attached 22-inch HD touchscreen looks great and is quick and responsive with over 4 GB of working memory. And while the screen cannot rotate side to side, it can be tilted up and down. I found some rower screens to be placed too close, which doesn't look really great when you're leaning in for the catch. Other rower screens are also placed too high, encouraging you to maintain a bad neck position, which I call a chicken neck. But the Aviron Rower doesn't have any of these issues. The position on the screen here is just about as perfect as you can get. The speakers though are not great, though they do sound pretty decent given the fact that they're only 5 watts. And the handle on the Aviron Rower is really unlike anything that I've used before. The handle itself is held within sort of a sleeve that rotates around while you hold on to it. The benefit of a handle like this is that it can reinforce good neutral wrist positioning, though I cannot say I actually prefer this style compared to a more traditional handle, but once I got adjusted, it felt just fine. And while the handle felt comfortable for me to use, I do want to note that it is a bit larger in diameter than I've seen before, so those of you with smaller hands may need to use a thumbs over grip, which you may or may not like. Another design aspect unique to Aviron is how high up the rower sits. The seat is 20 inches off the floor, which is significantly higher than most other rowers. While this has made it harder to reach my phone for my post-workout selfies, it does make it a lot easier to get off and on. Now, while the Aviron Rower is pretty good overall, the reason most will want to look into it is because of their game-focused membership. The membership costs $29 per month, or $25 if you pay for a year up front. It includes an unlimited number of accounts on the rower itself. Aviron seems to have a pretty good cadence of new workout modes and game releases. Over the past few years, they've accumulated a pretty big variety of workout types to choose from. There are a decent amount of games, like one where you shoot down hordes of enemies to try to get a new high score, or throw snowballs, or play that game with the brick and the ball. You know what I'm talking about. My favorite workouts, though, are the ones where you row at various paces to keep your car in the correct lane. There are also some included instructor-led rides, a pros versus Joes mode where you test yourself against other athletes, a bunch of optional scenic rides, and just tons of other interesting finds in here. I can't say everything in here is good. In fact, some games are just stupid dumb, but there are a good amount of diamonds to be found among the rough, and the newer programs and games that have been released lately seem to be quite a bit better than some of the older content. The variety and creativity on display here, though, is enough to really achieve their goal, I believe, of helping prevent anybody from getting bored. Unfortunately, there is very little guidance on how to utilize these various modes and games to create a full program, or any way to build your own workout plan, or even your own interval structure. There really also is not much to help you learn rowing technique or get guidance during workouts, but that just doesn't seem to be the focus here. Aviron feels like it is more built for those that just want to jump on in without a plan and do whatever sounds fun on any given day. Now, many connected fitness companies, for example Peloton and iFit, actively seek to block and prevent their members from accessing other forms of entertainment, like Netflix, on their machines. Not Aviron. They not only allow access to platforms like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Disney, and YouTube, but also display and track your metrics while you use them. And people often say things like,
"Look, if I'm watching Netflix, then I wouldn't work out as hard."
And while that is certainly true, I actually see that as a positive. See, to get the best results, lower intensity training should really make up a majority of your endurance workouts. Yet most connected fitness devices rarely provide many, if any, classes that encourage that. And likely this is because it's hard for a coach to keep people entertained while keeping their efforts low. And this is why a lot of people choose to take scenic rides on their devices for their lower intensity efforts. But if given the choice to take a scenic ride or watch, Stranger Things, I think most would choose Stranger Things. Though maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in comments which you'd rather take. A scenic route, or one of your favorite shows or movies on Netflix or Hulu or any of those other platforms. And for bonus points, let me know some of the best shows that you're currently watching. All I know is that there were some times when I was doing a low intensity effort on Aviron where I went a lot longer than I had originally planned to, just because I wanted to see the end of an episode. And that's something that I've never felt when taking a scenic ride. Another thing that makes the Aviron Rower unique is that it is the only connected fitness platform that I've seen to provide a complete multiplayer lobby system. Not only is it fun to work out or send a challenge to a friend, it's also a great way to feel like you're a part of the Aviron community. Previously, you would usually need to find a group of others on their Facebook or Discord groups to work out with. But in their latest update, Aviron turned all of the workouts that everybody starts into a public multiplayer session, allowing you to join anybody's workouts at any time, unless of course they make their workout private. And I really like this, being able to see other people joining me in the middle of my workout. Although I do wish you could jump into a workout at your own difficulty level, because I would just like to join anyone, even if they were a different fitness level than me. But hopefully this can come down the road in a future update. Plus, at the end of the shared workout, you can send everybody in that group a fun little selfie, which helps you realize that these are actually other people that you are working out with, not just avatars. Although I am curious how long this selfie mode will stay around, given the tendency of humans to ruin everything with less than upstanding behavior. Now, it wouldn't be a rower for gamers without rewards and challenges. And luckily, Aviron provides a decent amount of things here for you to chase. There are levels to earn, badges to collect, monthly challenges to complete, and best of all, coins. This might actually be my favorite thing. See, the longer you row, the more experience coins you collect. And these coins can then be used to buy additional skins for your avatar or additional backgrounds for a particular game mode. And while this is a fairly new aspect of Aviron that they just added recently, they say they are planning on expanding it significantly, which I think is a great idea, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. And I don't know if there's a story behind this or not, but pretty much whenever you achieve anything on Aviron, this one girl pops up to congratulate you, and she is like the ultimate meme. It freaking cracks me up every time I see her. Love it, it's genius, hope they keep her forever. Anyways, look, if you are somebody who loves games and gets bored easily with workouts, the Aviron Rower, with its ton of constant updates and new modes and entertainment streaming, just might be the perfect fit for you. And if you want to know more about the benefits of rowing versus, say, cycling, for example, maybe you're considering getting a bike or a rower, well, make sure to check out the video I made here, which goes over the pros and cons of each. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you next time.